Hello and welcome to our Halloween special edition. My name is Heather Ferris and I am your official host for Star Trek Open Classroom, or Star Trek, I'm thinking Star Trek because I have the Star Trek uniform on. Vegas Aces Open Classroom, where we are going to teach you how to shuffle a deck of cards. I got Star Trek on the brain. So, as we get in here, let me know how you guys are doing. How is your week? Are you guys ready for Halloween? Also, what are you guys going to be dressed as for Halloween? Do you have any fun special plans for Halloween? Anything fun planned? Sweet. Hey, Tube Wings. How you doing? Hi. Lieutenant. Awesome. I like that. Although I'm a red shirt, I don't know how long that's going to last. Hey Scorned One, how you doing? Good to see you. So let me know if you guys have any questions on how to shuffle. Let's get into the spiel so that way we could get that done and over with and we could get this party started. Again, welcome to Vegas Aces Open Classroom live stream where we are going to be teaching you how to shuffle. My name is Heather Ferris with Vegas Aces, not Star Trek, Vegas Aces. And I will be teaching you all about shuffling. We're going to be doing a single deck shuffle, a double deck shuffle, and also an 8-deck shuffle. So hopefully you guys get a better idea by the end of the stream. Also, if you have any questions, if you're having trouble with anything, let me know and we'll work on that as well. Now, before we get started, I just want to remind you to subscribe, hit that notification bell so that way you'll always be notified of our latest videos and live streams. I'm just going to keep using this thing. I have it. I like it. I'm going to use it. You're lucky I didn't bring my tribble out. Otherwise, I probably would have had way more fun with the tribble. Now, let's see here. My next live stream is on Monday, October 28th at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We are going to be doing a Let It Ride tournament, so be there or be square. Also, two updates. If you haven't already, check out the website. We have some new updates on the website. The entertainment page has been taken out and put into the articles page. So now entertainment has its own little section. We updated the memes, the meme gallery. So check that out. We also put the stories on there and our little lucky charm, the lion dance. And now we have a shop category, a new shop category. So check it out. We have new merchandise that you hopefully would like. And also to Amazon stuff, casino supplies, so that way you could get yourself a very own deck of cards to practice with. So if that is something you would be interested in, go ahead, click the link on the description below. You'll see it linked up there, the Amazon store, and then I have deck of cards and the link. Go ahead, click it, and it'll get you to a pretty cheap pair of deck of cards that you can buy and practice at home with. Hey James, how you doing? Sit at home and hand out candy. That is my plan. Sounds pretty cool. Now, I have a question for you guys. How many people still get kids to their house? Like on Halloween, where they actually come up to the door and knock and ask for candy? We haven't had that in years and years and years. Like, I can't even tell you how many years. But during Halloween, we never get anybody like knocking on our door and asking for candy. All of the kids go to these like parent safe or kid friendly places to get their candy. They don't like go to normal doors anymore. Is that just here in Las Vegas, or do you guys experience that too? Let me know. Hey Intergalactic Press, good to see you, big bro. Hi John, how are you? And Tube Wings, trivia question. Oh goodness. What was the name of the only on-screen female red shirt in the original series? Good freaking question. I can picture her. I think she's the blonde. Aren't they all blonde? Something like that. I don't know her name. I'm going to guess and say Marie? Was it with an M? Am I close? I think I failed that one. Good thing I'm not on Jeopardy. Okay, so let's finish this. Remember to tip your dealer, and now you can with Super Chat. Super Chat is a way YouTube allows you to show your appreciation by tipping me any amount you want. Go ahead, give it a try, or if you want, you can become a member of our Patreon page today. Any membership level counts, even $1, so go check it out today. We have several different levels and rewards for you to choose from. Let's see, I think that's pretty much it. Yep, so the rest is just how to shuffle. Awesome. Let's see if you guys are saying anything in the chat real quick, and then we'll get started on the shuffling. Scorned one, there is a big apartment complex near my house with a lot of kids in it, so they always come for Halloween. Cool. If I lived in Vegas, I wouldn't let my kids trick or treat anyway. Yeah, it's probably a Las Vegas thing. James, I get the kids at my door, but not as many as there used to be. Okay, cool. So maybe it is a generational thing. Ah, it was Leslie Thompson in the episode By Any Other Name. Thank you for that trivia. I totally bombed that. She was turned into a mineral cube and crushed by one of the Kelvins. And she was a brunette. Oh, I even got the hair color wrong. No. Damn you all to hell. Oh wait, that was in Star Trek. Okay, so let's get into this. So first thing we're going to do is shuffle a single deck. Now, I'm going to show you the basic shuffle, and then I'm going to show you something that you could do practice at home. And then we're going to go into the different ways of doing the same thing that I just basically taught you. So the first thing that I'm going to teach you is the riffle. Now, with a shuffle is not the same thing as a riffle. So when people say shuffle, what they're thinking about is this. And that would be a shuffle. Like they're going around and they're saying that's a shuffle. But as a dealer in the dealing industry, that is not a shuffle. That's called a riffle. So this right here is not a shuffle. That is a riffle. Now, what is a shuffle? A shuffle is basically all of the shuffling components put together all at once to create the shuffle. For example, you have riffle, that's the first step, strip, riffle, box, and then a riffle. And all of that together, that is a shuffle. That's what an actual shuffle is when you put all of those components together. And the one that we think about when we're saying shuffling is actually called riffling, which is this. And that's the first thing that I'm going to teach you. So how do you riffle? Now, the way I riffle is I put the two cards together. There's not very much space in between. If you notice right here, it's pretty much side to side. I put my hand in an A, an A figure. So here's the tip of the A. This is the connecting point of the A right there. I'm only pressing on 2 points of the card. So I'm pressing on this point right here with my finger, and this point right here with this portion of my palm. And I'm only putting pressure on those 2 points. So that's all the pressure that I'm putting on right there. And then I'm lifting with my thumbs. So I lift the cards and the cards fall into place, and that's a riffle. So again, an A structure just like so, putting points right here and right here, again right here and right here, and then I'm using my thumbs to lift the corners, these corners right here of the deck. I'm lifting them and I'm letting them fall into place, and then you push them together. So that is the basic of the riffle. Now if you're having trouble holding the deck, for example, you put your thumbs in the behind the deck, the forefingers in front of the deck, and the middle fingers on the sides, and that keeps it in place. Now, that's the basic on how to riffle. Now, there's plenty of people out there who are having problems with this, and no problem. We are going to answer your questions. Actually, I probably should answer your questions and then go into this. So let's see if you guys have any questions about what I just taught you. If you do, put it in the chat right now, and I will answer it, and then we'll go into, for example, what if you're a guy? What if the cards are so small that you can't do what I'm teaching you? How do you shuffle the deck if you can't really hold the cards because your hands are way bigger than your instructors? That's what we're going to talk about here in a sec. So hold with me, hold tight. Let's see if you guys have any questions real quick. Fantastic. Okay, so nothing in the chat. So what do you do when your hands are big? What do you do if you're a guy and you can't shuffle the way I'm teaching you how to shuffle? Well, what I'm teaching you is to do the A position, like so. I'm teaching you to put points on your finger right here and on this portion of your hand right there. And I'm teaching you to lift up with your thumbs. That's how I'm teaching you to do it. But people have trouble with that. So if your hands are really big, you can grip the deck like a claw, okay? So make like a little claw, like your hand, little claw, and that is how you're gonna grip the deck. Now, what do? You're basically holding the deck in place using your fingers. So your forefinger, your middle finger is on the top, ring finger, pinky, that's on the side, and you're holding it in place like so. And then again, you're just using your thumbs and you're lightly lifting up on the corners and letting the cards fall into place. So really, really easy, holding the cards in place, lifting up with your thumbs and letting the cards fall into place. So if you have bigger hands, if you have trouble learning how to shuffle the way that I'm teaching you to shuffle, go ahead and give this a try. See if this feels better to you. That's the whole point. This needs to feel good to you. This needs to feel good in your hands. If you're sitting there and you're trying to shuffle and you're putting a lot of pressure on your hands and you're sitting there and you're trying to force the cards to do what you want to do, you're like, I'm trying to force you to do what I want you to do. Why aren't you doing it? It's like they're fighting back. Well, here's the thing. If you fight the cards, trying to shuffle the cards are going to fight you back. It's going to be so hard and so difficult and miserable. You don't want to do that. If you're easy with the cards are going to be easy with you, which means you can, handle them easily. They'll move easily. You could riffle them easily, put them together easily. It just comes together easily. But that really depends on you. So if you're putting a lot of pressure, if your knuckles are white because you're putting so much freaking pressure on them that they're like turning a different color, you're being too hard on the cards. You need to be a lot nicer with the cards. So gently hold them in place. If you're a guy with large hands, you would hold them like this and then gently lift up and let them fall into place. And if you're more like me, a woman with small hands, then you would shuffle like that. Also, too, it doesn't really matter if you're a guy or a girl. I'm just using that as an example. If you're a guy and it's easier to shuffle like this, then go ahead and shuffle like that. If you're a girl and it's easier to shuffle with your hands like a claw, holding it like so, then go ahead and do that. No problem. Now, the only thing you really want to focus on or worry about is when you're lifting the cards, you don't want to lift them so far up that the person behind you can see what the cards are. You don't want to lift that far up. You want to lift far enough that they fall into place, but not far enough up that you're showing the entire world what the cards are. So let's see if you guys are saying anything in the chat real quick, and I'll answer your questions. If you have a question, ask now. And if not, we will move on. Hey, Dane, how you doing? Good to see you. Hi, Dane. Let's see. Do you ever wash the cards at the table like you do in a poker game? Yes, John. Yes, we do. So when you're on a handheld game, either a single deck or a double deck, every 2 hours, they're going to change your cards. And when they change your cards, there's a certain procedure that you go through to put the cards into play. And one of the things that you're supposed to do is wash the deck, like so. And this is my favorite part about shuffling. However, I'm upset that you only get to do it when there's new cards. You don't get to do this on like a normal shuffle. Otherwise, that would be way fun, way more fun. But yes, you would wash the deck like so, and then do the shuffle. And if we have enough time today, I could go into what to do when you get new cards at the table and the procedure that you have to go through when you get new cards. We are going to be ending this live stream a little early, probably about 2:45, 2:50 today. And the reason why is because Michael Shackelford is coming over and we're going to be doing a live stream on his channel at 3 p.m. The odds must be crazy. And it's really cool too because he's going to come dressed up in his Halloween costume, just like I am in my Halloween costume. Halloween! I love Halloween. If you can't tell, just saying. And the cards fight dirty. Yes, they do. Okay. So we learned to riffle again, and 2 different ways of riffling depending on how you feel and what's comfortable for you. Remember, if you are having a problem learning how to do this, then instead of starting off with a single deck like so, I want you to take a single deck, take just a little portion off the single deck, just a small little portion like so, and then practice your riffling with those, if that makes it easier for you. It could be half the deck, it could be like a quarter of the deck, it could be a third of the deck, whatever it is. But just take a small amount, practice riffling, and then when you feel comfortable, when you feel like you're ready to move on, go ahead and grab a little bit more of that deck, add it onto it, and then riffle again. You're gonna have to, when you're doing this at home, you're gonna have to do it a million times. This is one of those things where you're working on your muscle memory, which means you have to do it over and over and over and over again 100 million times, and then a couple more times just to be on the safe side. So practice at home. In fact, if you're a new person out there who wants to be a dealer and you're not sure what step to take, first and foremost, learning how to shuffle a deck is a great way to start learning how to be a dealer. This is the foremost skill that is needed in order to be a casino dealer. So again, keep adding to your deck until you have a full deck, and you can sit here and riffle with no problem. The cards aren't fighting you. You're not having any problems. Also, too, you want to make sure that the deck is laced. Now, here is what I'm talking about. Let's see if you guys can see this. I don't know if you could see this. So this is a laced deck right here. If you can see, there's no chunks in between the cards. It looks like all the cards are laced pretty well. When you're shuffling, that's what you want it to look like. You want it to look like this laced deck right here. Now, what you don't want it to look like is a chunk deck. And a chunk deck would be, this is what a chunk deck would look like. So if you could see the difference right there, a chunk deck has a lot of, chunks in it. It's a lot of like missing pieces or spaces in between the deck. And that means the deck was not riffled properly. So check and make sure if your deck is laced or chunked. You want it to be laced and not chunked. So that's it for a riffle. Let's see if you guys have any questions real quick. Awesome, no questions. So the next thing we're going to go to after a riffle is stripping. So a strip is you are holding the cards slightly high above the table, put it in an angle like so, just a downward angle like so. Don't know if you could see that, but it's like a little downward angle right there. And then you're going to take the cards from the top and put it to the bottom. From the top, put it to the bottom. And keep doing that 5 to 7 times. And that is a strip. Now, one of the ways, or a couple of the ways you do not want to strip, besides, with clothes, that's not what I'm talking about. Okay, so one of the ways you don't want to strip is you don't want to take the cards from the bottom and put them on the bottom. You're not doing anything. That's not stripping. That's not doing jack. So never take the cards from the bottom and put them down. When you're stripping, always take the cards from the top of the deck, right here, the top of the deck, and put them on the bottom. Top of the deck, put them on the bottom, like so. So always strip from the top and then go to the bottom. Also, too, don't hold the deck up so high off the table like what I just did. Instead, you want to hold it slightly off of the table. You don't want anyone to see what the cards are, so you don't want to keep it too far off the table. Just enough that you could strip the deck. So that's stripping. Next up is boxing. You're holding the deck. You take the third from the bottom, a third from the bottom, take it off, turn it 180 degrees, and place that portion on the top of the deck. And that is boxing the deck. So again, take 1/3 of the bottom portion of the deck, like so, turn it 180 degrees, and then place it back on top of the deck. And that is boxing the deck. And the reason why you strip, you box, riffle, all of that stuff, you're trying to get a really good blend of the cards together. You don't want people to be able to track the cards. And people do that. They track the cards. So they mark the cards in some way. They know where certain areas of the cards are. So let's say if a bunch of 10s came out, they know where in the deck all of those 10s are. And then they track it. And one of the things you do to stop someone from tracking the cards is you box the deck, like so. And that's why you box. Same thing with stripping. You're trying to blend the cards together as best as possible so they can't track the cards. Oh, sweet. Thank you, John. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the super chat. Fantastic. Any customer try to eat a card or some similar story, please? Yes, I did have a customer eat a card. This is a fun story. Okay. So this happened when I first started dealing blackjack. It was the first year or two that I was dealing, so still really new to it. And every single year, the first 2 weeks of December, we always have the National Rodeos final. And they come in, it's always, a bunch of cowboys and everything. They come in and they get drunk and they act all crazy and stuff. So we had a whole casino full of cowboys. Everybody was walking around and drinking and acting crazy. And I'm dealing on a game, and one of the cowboys is there, and he's betting a lot of money. He's betting about $1,000 a hand. And I hit him. I think I gave him like a 15 or a 16, and I had a 10-up card. So I hit him, and I give him a 10. For a bust for 26, right? Well, he snatches up that 10, crumples it up, puts it in his mouth. I swear to God, freaking eats it in front of me, and then asks me for another card. And I'm just like, are you kidding me? So I call over my foreman, and I'm like, we need another 10 of hearts. And he's like, what do you mean we need another 10 of hearts? Don't BS me. Can't you see how busy we are right now? I got stuff to do. Don't, pull my chain. I'm busy. And I'm like, no, seriously, we lost a 10 of hearts. What do you want me to do? And he didn't believe me again. And I'm like, look, check the cameras. I'm not lying. What do you want me to do? We don't have a 10 of hearts. So he finally goes to the podium. He calls the cameras. He's mad because he thinks that I'm wasting his time. And calls the cameras. Cameras check it out, and they're like, yeah, the player did in fact eat the card. So he comes over, and you could see his face. It's like just, he is astonished. He is just flabbergasted. And he's like, well, if he wants another card so badly, give him another card. Excuse me? Okay. So I hit him, and I give him a 5 for 21. And we ended up paying the guy. And I, deal from the rest of my hour. I get tapped off. Instead of going to break, I go over to the floorman, and I'm like, what the hell just happened? Why did you give that guy another card? He ate the card. And he's like, you got to look at it this way. The guy has been here for 3 days. He has lost $30,000 every single day. So for $90,000, we can afford to give him another card. Oh my goodness. So yes, players do eat cards, players do eat chips, players eat a lot of stuff they shouldn't eat. They're just like kids. It's like babysitting. It's not that kind of stripping. It's not that kind of channel. That's awesome. Did he tip you? No, he didn't tip me. He was, like I said, down $90,000. He was not tipping at all. I was just happy he didn't bite my head off. Okay, so let us continue. Again, let me know if you guys have any questions or anything. We just previously went through the different steps of shuffling: riffle, strip, box. Those are the steps. So now let's do a single deck shuffle. If you are auditioning for a casino and you have to do a single deck shuffle, go ahead and use this shuffle. So the first step would be to riffle, strip, box, and riffle. And that is a single deck shuffle. Simple, easy, quick. After you're done, you put the cut card on top of the deck, hand it to the player. Again, make sure you don't pass the insurance line and you never show the wide side of the deck to the player. So have them cut, and then you could start dealing the game. Okay, so now let's do a double deck. Now that we did the single deck, let's do a double deck. Now, double decks are going to be a little harder than single decks. Single decks are fun and nice and easy to shuffle, and there's usually no problems. But people usually have a harder time with the double deck than they do a single deck. And double decks are a little harder to shuffle, especially the riffle part. Now, the key to riffling a double deck is, remember, you don't want to fight the cards. You're gently lifting on the corner and you're letting the cards fall into place. And then you just let the cards do their thing. You don't fight it. So if you're fighting it, it's going to fight you. Again, hold it in the way that feels comfortable for you. My way is the A position. That's what I learned. That's what I know. So go ahead and hold it to what feels comfortable to you. And gently lift the cards and let them fall into place. And then go ahead and push the cards together. Don't put a lot of pressure on it. Be really nice, easy, gentle, soft, and then push them together. It makes it so much easier to shuffle a double deck when you're not fighting the cards. So again, hold the cards in the way that feels comfortable to you. Gently lift up on the corners and let the corners fall into place. And then push the cards together. Very easy, very simple. And then again, it's strip. And then you can riffle again if you want. Box, and then a riffle. And if you could do all of that stuff, you could do a double deck shuffle. Now, just to keep in mind, whatever casino you guys are going to be working at or going to, each single casino is going to have a different shuffle. So no matter how you learned it today, no matter how you practice it at home 15 million times, 100 million times, it doesn't matter. When you go to that new casino, you have to shuffle in the way that they teach you. And every casino is different. So for example, if you learned a shuffle at your break-in house and then you go move to a different casino, even though that, original shuffle is like dead set in your mind, it's ingrained in your mind, you have to learn a new way of shuffling, and then you have to do that for that casino. Part of being a dealer is being flexible and being able to follow policies and procedures exactly the way that they're given to you. And it's not just casino to casino. So you could be dealing at one casino and you still have to worry about this because, say for example, one floorman likes you to do something a certain way, another floorman likes you to do it a different way, and then that floorman over there doesn't like either of those ways and wants you to do it his way. And as a dealer, you have to remember every single floorman's way of doing it and then be like, okay, I'm in this floorman's pit. He wants me to deal this way, I got to deal this way. So that's something else that you need to keep in mind as a dealer. Ha! Thank you so much, James. Appreciate the super chat. Fantastic. Can Pip shuffle? No, Pip cannot shuffle, but she can eat a snack, and she appreciates all of the snacks that you give. So thank you very much for your super chat. Hey, Pip. We are going to give you guys your super chat reward. $2, 2 treats right here. And we are going to have Pip come up here and help us get rid of the evidence. Ha! Can you hear her? She's down there like talking. She's like, I heard you. I heard my name. I heard treat. I know what's going on. Get me up there. Come on. Why are you ignoring me? Okay, so that is for Pip right there. Come here, Pip. Oh, good girl. There you go. Thank you very much for that super chat. Okay, so let me know if you guys have any questions so far. We talked about the single deck shuffle. We talked about the double deck shuffle. With a normal double deck shuffle, you wouldn't, when you're shuffling, you always shuffle a single deck differently than you would a double deck, than you would a 6 or 8 deck shoe. So I showed you how to shuffle a single deck. Let me show you how to shuffle a double deck. So let's move a couple things. Okay, including this little dog right here. There you go. Okay, fantastic. Okay, so when you're shuffling a double deck, you're going to take the deck, cut it in half, and then cut it in half again, like so. So you have 4 different stacks on the table. Bring these 2 stacks, the 2 opposite stacks together, and then do a riffle, strip, box, and a riffle. And then put it in the center. Next, take these 2 stacks right here, and then do the same thing. A riffle, strip, box, and riffle. Bring it on top of here, so now you have the 2 decks together. Bring it in, and then complete the shuffle by doing one final riffle. Pip, you're blocking the camera. People can't see the final riffle, and you missed a treat. Pip, you missed a treat. Hey, what's this? That's candy. That's not yours. There you go. Okay, and then you're going to finish the shuffle by doing one final riffle. And Pip found the snacks. Pip found the candy. She is very good at that. Come here, let's get you off the table. Oh. Ah. Thank you very much for that super chat. Pip really appreciated it. Okay, so that was basically a double deck shuffle. We will do it one more time real quick, and then we'll go into a 6 or 8 deck shuffle. So I guess I should have been talking. You take the double deck, cut it in half again, like so. Grab these 2 stacks right here, put them together in the middle. Complete a riffle, strip, box, and riffle. And then put it in the center. Again, grab these cards, put them together, and do exactly the same thing. Riffle, strip, oops, box, and then riffle. Bring it together and complete the shuffle by doing one final riffle. And then you would offer the cards to be cut. Cards would be cut, and the dealer would start dealing the cards. Okay, so we did the single deck, we did the double deck. Let me know if you guys have any questions so far. Do you have any trouble shuffling the deck? Is there anything that's like hindering you that I could help you with? Let me know. We have about 5, maybe 10 more minutes left before we end the stream. So get your questions in here before we end this. Also, too, join me at 3 p.m. at The Odds Must Be Crazy. So that way you could see the live stream with Mike Shackelford and I. We'll both be wearing a Halloween costume, so come check it out. Okay, so now we're going to do an 8-deck shuffle. Real quick. So you're at the end of the shoe. You're totally done. Come in here. Here's the cut card. Cool. Cut card's done. Now let's do an 8-deck shuffle. We have 8 decks here. 6 decks here? I think it's 8 decks. Okay, we have 8 decks here. So we're going to do the 8-deck shuffle. And let's see. John Scorned One says, can you do any one-handed cuts? Are you talking about can the player cut the card with one hand, or are you talking about that magic maneuver that you do with your hand where you cut the deck with one hand? Let me know what you're talking about. Okay, so 8-deck shuffle. First thing we do is we have cards in the shoe. So we are going to plug the cards. Now let me show you what a plug is real quick. In this shuffle, you don't have to plug, but it's good to know what a plug is just in case you do have to plug at your casino. So some casinos will want you to plug the deck. You take the remaining cards that's in the shoe, you pick any random location in the deck, and you put these cards in the deck, like so. And push them together and then start doing the shuffle. That's plugging the deck. Now, that's what it means when some casinos ask you to plug the deck. Now you know what that means. Now, with the shuffle that I'm going to teach you, you don't have to plug the deck. What you do is you take your plug right here, take it out of the shoe, and just put it on top, and now you're ready to go. So I just wanted to let you know what a plug was, so that way if the casino asked you to do it, you would be able to do it. Okay, so we get the cards out, we put them on the table. Go ahead and break them into 4 different stacks of 2 decks each, approximately. It doesn't have to be perfect. Don't spend a lot of time on it. It's not a big deal. And then what you're going to do is you're going to bring it in, and you're going to do a riffle, box, riffle. So riffle, box, and then a riffle. Bring this one in, riffle, box, riffle. And we'll do that with the 2 other stacks as well. And again, when you're cutting the deck in half, it doesn't have to be perfect. When you do this, it doesn't have to be perfect. Everybody's human. Everybody makes mistakes. Sometimes your hands don't work. Don't fret about it. Don't worry about it. It's totally okay. As long as you do it, you're good. Now, if you're chunking, that's a different story. But if you're lacing the cards and you're actually riffling and doing what you're supposed to, then don't worry about it. Like what I just did there, don't worry about it. Just put it back, bring it back out, and then do the riffle. It's not a big deal if you make a mistake. Okay, so we got all that done. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take 35 cards, approximately, off of every single deck, bring it in, and create a new stack. And then we're going to riffle, strip 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and riffle. And then we're going to put this in the center in its own little stack right there. And then do the same thing. Actually, I'll move this so that way you guys can see what I'm doing. And then we'll riffle, strip 5 times, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then riffle. And don't fight the cards or they will fight you. Do the same thing. We're almost done. Riffle, strip, riffle. And very last one. Riffle, strip, riffle. And you're done shuffling an 8-deck shoe. Bring it in. What do you call it? Even out the edges. And then offer the cut card to the player. And again, do not show the wide side of the deck to the player. Make sure that the deck is perpendicular to the player. So if the player's right here, the deck is perpendicular. It's like a T shape towards the player. And then don't go any further the insurance line, and then let them cut the deck. Okay, do you guys have any questions? If not, we are going to end the stream here. Again, join me at 3 p.m. at the Odds Must Be Crazy, where I am going to be doing a live stream with Mike Shackelford. One of the dice fell. And again, 3 p.m., the Odds Must Be Crazy. Okay, let's see if you guys have any questions, comments, anything else before we go. Scorned one, right, magic maneuver. Can you do any? Nope, I am not a magician. I am not a sleight of hand person. I am happy just being able to shuffle the cards and not have them explode everywhere. So, what Scorned One is talking about, and I cannot do this, so don't expect me to do this, but you hold the deck in one hand, and you actually can maneuver the deck in a way that you can, like, cut the deck with one hand. I can't do it, but you can get the idea of, like, what I'm talking about. So that's what he's talking about. Okay, so that's pretty much it looks like. Just a quick reminder, Vegas Aces is supported by viewers like you. If you donations do make it possible for all of these videos to be brought to you for free. If you think that this video was worth more than $0, then please donate the amount that you feel it was worth by clicking on the link in the description below. That does it for today's show. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Join me again on our next live stream, which is our Let It Ride tournament on Monday, October 28th at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also, join me 3 p.m. in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, over on Mike Shackelford's YouTube channel, The Odds Must Be Crazy, for our live stream. And it was so great seeing you guys, and I hope to see you guys again, well, in 10 minutes. Thank you. Have a good weekend. Talk to you later. Bye, guys. Oh, wait. Okay, I had to do that one more time. Okay, bye. I lied.